I need the FMCSA to be better with this. Okay, this situation is crazy as heck, and I do not wish this on my worst enemy because it has to deal with the livelihood of what you're doing in trucking. To cut this interview short so you get the summary, Brady has been an owner operator 2-3 years, and his insurance dropped him. And the reason why is because they said he had so many violations. Now, what ended up happening is he tracked what happened and he was like, violations? He's never been to over there in Michigan. What the heck is going on? Basically, the situation at hand is his USDOT number is one number off from some guy that a Michigan State Patrol officer wrote a violation for and put down his number by accident. And because he did that, it got sent to the data queue. And from that, his insurance dropped him. Now, he was able to track down that Michigan State Patrol, and that person, I heard from Brady, was nice and actually reverted and changed it. Now, the FMCSA has not updated yet and says that they update their computers once a month, and this person is hurting right now. Without insurance, you can't drive your truck, and yes, he saved up money, but 30 days without work, and it's for something that you did not do, and it shut down your business. This is crazy. Let's get into this interview. Uh, Trying to play a sad story for Brady. We're not here trying to do anything of that sorts, because sometimes that's what people get to right away, right, Brady? They go, man, this happens. He probably wants to GoFundMe, this and that. No, this is
Oh yeah,
Brady
yeah,
wanting
yeah.
to share
I don't
information.
want. I don't even want to hear myself complain about it. I mean, it's a unfortunate thing, but I found out this has happened to probably quite a few other people, and it can happen to anybody at any given time. So yeah, so basically, I had problems with my insurance company. I had no violations or anything like that, and they said that they couldn't cover me anymore because of violations. And when I went and dug into it, there was violations on my record from Michigan. Which, like I said, I've never been. Another individual and their DOT number on the truck that he worked for was one digit away, and it was incorrectly. It was just a mistake. We're all human. Michigan State Police, and they fixed it promptly and reported it to the FMCSA. The biggest issue is the insurance company basically said if you don't get it officially off of the SMS website reporting, they're just not even going to mess with me. I mean, that's what my agent said. And then going back to Progressive, I didn't want to do, but I mean, anybody just to keep working here. And I said, oh yeah, we can do it and send all your data queues, which you have to go through. Can't talk with nobody at the FMCSA to help you at all. I mean, it's data queues and that's it. And basically, they said, yeah, well, 10 days, to review it. And I'm like, that doesn't really help much either, because maybe by then they'll update it and this will be completely off my record. I don't have to go with, I don't know if Progressive's bad for anybody, but they weren't, they're kind of entry level for me anyways. I had a better insurance company. I mean, I had what I guess, was the best insurance company you can get in owner-operated trucking, and I don't see getting back with them really easy. The FMCSA revoked my authority for non-insurance throughout this whole thing as well. So I don't even know what's involved with that.
That's crazy. So how long's the waiting time been so far, Brady?
Well, I submitted everything. Michigan State Police fixed it on there and sent me proof on, gosh, it was like the 14th of July. And the SMS is still showing violations. Data queues, I actually kind of went ahead of data queues and went to Michigan State Police first. Didn't know how it worked. Then I realized that I never did a data queue. I did a feedback. So like 6 days after the fact, they'd already should have fixed this. I finally actually put in the actual data queue and did it correctly. And yeah, they responded and everything, and it was all good. And they said that they fixed it, but it just stays on the website, for however long it takes, once a month, whatever, when they update it. So sitting here with no insurance, can't get a policy, never had any violations, revoked my MC. You try to talk to somebody, you can't get a hold of anybody. There's tons of different numbers and just different departments of the FMCSA. I didn't even realize there's so many it took me an entire day literally sitting around the phone to get a hold of the right people with Michigan State Patrol to fix this. FMCSA, there's basically there's no reaching anybody that can do anything. They'll just tell you it's been like this forever, once a month. It's like, well, I understand if it's once a month and the reportings are true, like that's fine. But if you have incorrect reportings on your website and everyone's using that website, insurance companies, that's a big deal in trucking, our insurance, and they're judging you based off of it. Somebody should be able to get in there and fix it, especially when the state patrol has already proved that it's not mine. It is what I'm saying. Like they should get in there and fix that for you instead of leaving you on the, for a month. And then while this is all going on, they revoke your MC. It's just like, all right, well, I don't know what's involved with that. Maybe no big deal. But at the same time, it's just like, and this is kind of insane, right? And you call them and there's just so many freaking departments and stuff. They're just like, yeah, we don't know what to tell you. So
That's crazy. And so you're just praying that in 30 days that it's going to change, but there's still a chance that it might not change.
Well, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't want to speak anything that's untrue, but last I looked, it said that all the information on the SMS is updated and accurate as of July 24th. I submitted this stuff. I know it was at least July 20th or before that. So I don't know. They probably have like a little, they actually do it on this day and then it reflects so much later or whatever. It's just at the end of the day, it's like they want to know where you are every 15 minutes, every freaking day. And then they get something wrong, you prove it wrong, and then you and your family sit there for weeks and weeks and you can't even operate. I mean, what if somebody had, and luckily I didn't, but like, what if you got contracts with local companies that you worked the last 2-3 years to get built up and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you're afraid to get on the road? I mean, no insurance is a big no-no, and then you can, lose a major contract that could be, everything in your business, so I can imagine for someone who had 10 employees, what do you do with them? You can't just not pay them. Unemployment, all these things come up. It's not their fault. You know what I mean? So you could really, if it was someone that had more employees or something like that, I could see how it could be even worse. So,
right. And in your personal situation, we don't have to get too much into it, but you sitting for 30 days, I mean, how much has this physically affected you? Monetary wise or house wise, or what's going on?
Well, with my location and everything, I think it varies for everybody in trucking for sure. It was already kind of difficult with the fuel prices and everything and navigating and using the brokers. I've got a little bit of local stuff, just nothing that's really, everybody wants a deal local here. And it's just, you help people out and it's definitely not steady enough. So we were already kind of, having a hard time even getting the insurance bill paid. And we just got it down to a reasonable rate. And I sold the truck. I just got rid of it immediately. So we can't sit here and do this shit. We're going to get rid of it. Yeah. So, I sold it for more than I paid. Obviously not more than I paid total in parts and everything, but we got out of it. And I sold some other shit too. I was just like, this economy is going to keep on going this way. I don't know what's going on, but we can't even work. And I can go get a job, but there's a reason why we're owner operators in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know why anybody would be an owner operator to go broke. And I don't know why they'd be an owner operator to make the same amount of money as you can as a company driver. Like, why would you? And then now it's just like, well, you just get shoved out of the industry and it's like, okay, go get a job. That seems like that's the end result. It's just like, so it's kind of hard to do, but you do what you got to do, I guess. But at the end of the day, this can happen to somebody. You have a perfect record for the whole time you've been operating, and all of a sudden it's just, the worst part is that the people that did it and made the mistake, they're humans, they fixed it. And the FMCSA just sits there, well, whatever. And then it's just like, it's insane to me that you can't even get your stuff, it seems like they're just too big. You know what I mean? They're too big.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Brady. Basically, because of a human error that, yes, they did fix it as soon as possible, but this human error that had nothing to do with you pretty much forced you to make a decision for your family to sell your equipment.
Yep. Yeah, if it was this has been kind of hard for us the whole 2-3 years I've been doing this. I've been really kind of pushing it along. So, obviously after 2 years, you're hoping to be maybe a few months ahead of things like that, and you can take a hit like this. For us, just wasn't the case, and it hit. Honestly, it hit right at the very wrong time. We had some other things happen too, and with the truck, and it was just everything was kind of just telling you to get rid of that truck. It's cost more money than it's worth. Right now, I mean, we're gonna be all right. You know, we ain't gonna freaking lose our house or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It pisses you off a little bit because now I probably gonna have to come up with a insurance down payment, which we know how much that is. A less favorable company that I stayed clean and did all this for a couple of years to get into a better insurance company. All that I can see is probably for the most part gone. And then with the revoked authority, I mean, I don't even know how that works. If I reinstate it, do I look that as a new company again? I mean, I have no idea. So it's just a bunch of nonsense.
It's crazy, brother.
Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing your story, Brady. At the end of this, any last words, shout outs, or anything you want the trucking community to know?
Um, Not nothing that's already been said. Everybody knows what it is, and if they don't, they're gonna know real soon. So, this problem, I'm not sure how common it is, but I know a guy. He's a kind of veteran truck driver. He's not far from me, and no one ever really heard of this that I've talked to, and I didn't really even want to freaking talk about it because I was upset. But he said that same thing happened to him. His insurance company called him. It was like 10 years ago, and I didn't even realize that Data Q's was around back then, but apparently it was. And they said, "Hey, we got to figure out this $250,000 claim on this accident and all this and that." And he says, "I don't know what you're talking about. My truck's sitting right here in my yard." He's a rancher too, so he just, he's kind of more part-time owner operator because he can, always has been. But he sent him a picture with his phone and then sent it to him and said, "I don't have any claims on anything." And
Mm.
luckily his agent was pretty good and got him through. But he said, "Yeah, they freaking screwed me for about." He said his was kind of dealing with it for almost 2 months back then. And I guess it was right here close to home. I couldn't believe I finally found somebody that was been through the same thing before. So I was like, kind of telling the story to almost like people didn't believe me. Like, yeah, whatever. You probably went and fucked off and just did whatever and got in trouble like people do. And that's kind of why I was reluctant to say anything. And this guy, he's like, "Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about." I'm like, "Really?" So it was kind of like all right, it's a thing. It happens to other people. So
Well,
hopefully it doesn't
no,
happen to anybody. I mean, I wouldn't wish this on nobody, especially if right now it's hard times. I'm sure a lot of people are kind of scraping that bottom dollar unless you got something steady going. So hopefully yeah, I mean, and the fact that it is happening, the amount of regulations that we have, the amount of things that they put forward, what they require you to do, how perfect do you have to be all the time, they need to be set to a higher standard than this, or at least have somewhere you can call. I mean, this is, I know people are trying to get out of things and play the system, but some of it's obviously real, so they need to do something. But then again, you're talking to the FMCSA, so who knows?
I got you. No, well, thank you so much, Brady, for being on the show. And we will share this story out just to let people know that, you know, the FMCSA, regardless of the situation, if you have the information incorrectly put in your system, and you know that is deemed to be true, there needs to be some sort of rule that trumps the other rules and just allows you to fix that immediately.
Yep, and then, like I said, Alex, so we got the I got the data queues and all the stuff direct from them to prove it. They're well aware of it. It's still on there. The insurance company still aren't touching it. So